Well, this is the next generation of tattooers. The next generation of tattooers that grew up with the internet and with computers are different from me. You see, I didn't grow up with that. You have access to the internet wherever you are. You know, even now, you know, you do a great tattoo with your iPhone, boom, stick it up on your Instagram. You've barely finished it. But everybody at my shop does this. Everybody, you see, everybody's young. That's what it is. My opinion is that everybody has an opinion. And the internet is a great place to air your opinion. A lot of the time, people don't give a fuck about your opinion. Just keep doing the work. This is my opinion. If you want to validate yourself as a good tattoo artist and you choose the internet to put your work out there, put it out there. Don't give a fucking opinion. Do you know what I mean? Because that's only your opinion. You know. Again, that's my opinion.
Dante, or Danny, as many people know him. I've known him for a long time. He's a particular person. He's got his own fetish for denim and clothes. He wants to look cool.
I can't help but look at myself in the mirror wherever I am.
Of reflections.
Yep, I love myself.
Imagine if you were a vampire.
I love He's like a very good friend of mine. He took me down his, you know, protective wing. Didn't count for free. I had to work very hard for it. And yeah, but he gave me the chance, he kept me at the shop. And well, through him, I had the chance to see lots of good stuff, lots of good tattooers.
The great thing about Frith Street is that we end up showcasing really young tattoo artists that have a lot of talent. This is Frith Street, everybody. It's just gone that way. We showcase young talent.
Now it's me, Jordan here, there's Emiliano Liberatori, Valerie Vargas, Stuart Robson, Oliver McIntosh and Miles Chaplin.
Frith Street contributed to what tattooing in London or in England is today. There's been a few key shops that over the last 10 years have done a lot of great work, but also a lot of key artists. We're fortunate right now that we're flavour of the month. I suppose the right people wanted to be involved in here, and I think the hard work, that's what counts. That's why it made it like this, I think.
We've always discussed amongst ourselves that Frith Street feels a bit like boot camp. You come here, and if you're open and you work hard, you know, you will be exposed to anything and everything that's good in tattooing.
It's where young tattooers come and they get whipped and broken and driven into the ground, and then you come out a stronger, better soldier in the end of it.
Frith Street has been like a kind of stage for people. You are definitely in a place where you got a spotlight on you and you get busy because there's a big demand at the shop, so you try out different things until you get on your set style.
You see, with Stuart, for example, Stuart kind of knew what he wanted to do when he came and worked here. I don't think Valerie knew what she wanted to do. She hadn't quite yet found her groove.
Oh, this will have to be Stuart's actually, I don't think it's mine. Yeah, weighs a fucking ton. He just did everything, tribal, black and grey, Japanese, girls, traditional, cover-ups, magpies, sharks. That's my chest piece that he did for me. It's so freaking painful. What is this? Now this is Stuart's as well. Again, doing everything. Lettering, Japanese. So fucking good, honestly.
I think Valerie says she looks up to me, and I think that feels like I'm justified in speaking about it. But I think she probably does feel like she's more of an apprentice, or she's certainly less experienced. But maybe that's because I'm more used to analysing my thoughts, where she works more gut instinct. But having someone to look up to allows her to just run wild with her instincts, because she knows that there's someone there to catch her if she falls. Not that she ever does fall, but that mental safety net has helped her kind of really get somewhere, I think.
I've always had some sort of website, and I had just drawing, sketches, ramblings on my blog, nothing exciting. Just did a couple of commission pieces. This is basically what somebody that doesn't know what's going on trying to draw, and they can draw. And just because you can draw doesn't mean you can tattoo and know how to draw for a tattoo. This isn't a girl, actually. She stands in my mind as like being the first customer that was like, I just like the way you do your thing. Can you kind of do something for me? And we came up with these designs, and they were the first designs that I thought, I'm liking where I'm going now, rather than just blindly stumbling along. I think being at Frith Street and very quickly falling into some sort of category meant that I've not really done a lot of everything else. And when you're only doing one style, one thing for a period of time, you're going to get that kind of better, quicker, you can understand things quicker, and you can develop quicker.
I remember Valerie coming to the shop. Her tattoos were clean. She didn't have like a set style at the time. Obviously, she wasn't tattooing for a long time, and then she came in with a portfolio, and I remember seeing a couple of pin-ups. It wasn't what she's doing now, obviously, because the evolution of a tattooer, starts whenever you find yourself comfortable in a place, and I guess she did find Frith Street as a place to settle down and start doing whatever she does now.
Frith Street, we hit the ground running. It was so busy. We were booked up weeks for like a couple of weeks at a time. It was crazy. I didn't know what I was doing. It was just so scary. And I wanted to impress Dante, and I wanted to make sure that he felt like he had done the right thing by giving not only me a job and Stuart a job, but a couple a job.
When we first come down to Frith Street, definitely the first 6 months, anything in life is just on hold.
The technical aspect of it, how it feels on the skin and the tension on your stretching hand and everything, all that stuff came very slowly to me. But again, having a friend that only had the best interests, a heart to help me, really builds up your confidence.
And we were so focused on trying to make tattooing work. We were both in our first 5 years. The first 5 years, you're an infant. You're busy soaking everything up and trying to learn and trying to just cope with tattooing.
The busier I got, the better my technical ability got as well. I do think that my drawing and my design work developed ahead of that, however, but I managed to catch up fairly quickly, I feel.
She started really digging back into old tattoo times and looking at Ed Hardy's work from the 70s and 80s. And then she realised that Ed Hardy figured out the stuff she was trying to do almost before she was born. And he nailed it. So then she used that as a starting point. She springboarded off that and see where she could go. And I think that's when her work matured and the style shifted into a more adult style.
To me, there is certain things that kind of are tattoos that look like tattoos, and the quintessential tattoo design is either a rose or a skull for me, really. And if you have neither, then you can't call yourself tattooed yet, really, I don't think. I think the turning point for me was a nesting doll. It was one of the first ones I ever done. I remember a lot of people began bringing that. They would print it and bring it and wanted me to do it. A few months after that, like 2 or 3 months, that's when I noticed I was getting busier for booked up for 3 to 4 months.
She tried to put a barrier between all the phone calls that would come every day. Every single day there'd be maybe 10 to 15 people, I want to get tattooed by Valerie. But they didn't want little tattoos. They wanted big 3, 4, 5 session tattoos. And there's not enough time in the day to tattoo that. And then 10 people, 10 new people. So she had to have a waiting list, and then she didn't really want that.
I know that I'm booked up till October. So, hang on. Hello? If you get back in touch whenever you want to get tattooed, you might have to wait a few months, or you might get
She's finally got through that. It took about 2 or 3 years to get through that. And for someone who's only been tattooing 5 or 6 years, that's a long portion of your career to be in demand.
No. You don't want to go underneath this, do you?
No, I'm good, I've got a hat.
Does Dante ever worry that you two will just go and open up your own place?
We've spoken to Dante about our long-term plans.
And, we were thinking, what happens next? If we want to settle, if we want to have a family, are we going to stay in London? Are we going to stay in Frith Street?
Dante's been so great to us, so trusting with his time and letting us develop the way we needed to develop.
He gave us this huge chunk of trust, and what did we have to do with it? We just made it work for all 3 of us.
And been supportive in personal matters and in business and in just tattooing.
And really for the person that has given us, you know, technically speaking, the keys to the rest of our life.
As well as owing everything to tattooing, we owe everything in tattooing to Dante.
And that's part of the reason why I helped my mother move from Scotland to London.
And really, London and Frith Street is the best place for us.
We finally made the decision that, yep, this is where we're going to be.
Holy shit.
Yeah, we still got to do the bum cheeks. We're leaving that till last.
That's not the reason I cancelled.
Yeah. Oh shit, bum cheeks next.